Hello and welcome back to the Wasteland, everybody. Welcome to the Capital Wasteland in Fallout 3, where we're going to be going over the weapons in Fallout 3. I kind of wanted to do Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 sort of at the same time, and that's why we're doing this now. There's also another reason, that's because I have Fallout London already downloaded on my Fallout 4, and I don't really want to take it off just so I can do some of the weapon reviews. So we're going to be doing Fallout 3's weapons now. And first up, what other to start with than the 10mm pistol, the staple of pretty much every Fallout game, ever since the start, and probably to the end of time because it's so synonymous with this game. So the 10mm pistol is going to be the second gun that you're given in Fallout 3. The first one that you get is the BB gun, which is pretty much just there to teach you how to shoot, and you shoot a radroach and that's it. The 10mm pistol you're given right at the very start, and this is what your primary weapon is more than likely going to be unless you're going with a melee or an unarmed character, in which case then you don't really need to use this. If you're going with anything else, it's still probably going to be this. The 10mm can be found all throughout the Wasteland. All manner of people have this. Raiders, settlers, traders. Everybody has a 10mm pistol. Everybody has 10mm ammo, which is very good for you. And this is actually a very solid weapon in Fallout 3. So for the stats, the 10mm pistol has 9 damage per shot, which is actually pretty good for a handgun in Fallout 3. That's decent. It has 54 damage per second. This one does shoot very fast, and it is very easy to control. It also has a very low sound for some reason in this game. I think it's the same sound in New Vegas. Maybe it's a little bit chunkier in New Vegas, but it seems kind of small for the gun that you're shooting. This has a 1x crit modifier on it, which is normal. This does 9 crit damage, same as normal damage. This costs 17 action points, so not very many action points to be using in VATS. This has 0.5 spread, so it's actually quite accurate for a handgun too, at least compared to some of the other weapons that we're going to be talking about in these videos. This one has a magazine of 12, it weighs 3, and item health is defined by how many shots are shot in this one. So I couldn't find actual regular item health on really any site that I checked. So the total amount of shots you can shoot with the 10mm is 556, which is a decent amount of ammo, and you're more than likely going to find a 10mm to fix up your 10mm with before you start breaking this. For the pros of the 10mm pistol, this one is a very early game weapon. You actually get a fully 100% quality one right at the very start. They are pretty easy to find throughout the game too, so fixing your 10mm up is not going to be that big of a deal, and it has really good damage per second in the early game. The 10mm actually really shines in the early game, especially compared to a lot of the weapons that you can potentially get, whether it be because the ammo is difficult to find for them or they're just not very common, so fixing them up becomes an issue. The 10mm pistol really doesn't have those issues. The only real con to the 10mm pistol is that it is going to fall off later. Not super late, but it is going to fall off later, mostly because something like the 10mm submachine gun kind of does the same job that it does, but a little bit better, and you will accumulate a lot of ammo. There is also the problem of the lever action rifle in Point Lookout also taking 10mm, and that one is going to be a lot stronger per shot, so you might just switch over to that one. But that isn't necessarily a terrible con to have. For an overall rating for the 10mm pistol, since there isn't any ammo or really perks to talk about with this one I'd put up into B tier. It's actually pretty solid and can carry you throughout most of the game. It could carry you all the way throughout the base game in Fallout 3. Once you start seeing the stronger enemies show up and DLC enemies show up, it might not be as good, but it's still going to be okay, so that's why I'm going to put it there. There is also 2 unique versions, or sort of unique versions, of the 10mm. First up is Colonel Autumn's pistol, which is the only real unique 10mm pistol. The other one is the silenced 10mm. You can find multiple of those. But Colonel Autumn's pistol is the pistol that he carries on him. And normally you can't really get this because it's always on Autumn, and by the time that you're actually killing Autumn in the regular game, then you get his laser pistol, not his 10mm pistol. There is a way to get this in the base game even if you're not playing with spawning this in like I did for the footage here. During the first interaction with him at Project Purity, when he gets knocked down, you can actually press your face against the wall, go into third person there, and spin your camera around. You can then actually loot his body if you get the right angle for this. It's kind of funny. You can take his pistol from this, and his pistol is a little bit better than the regular 10mm. So for the stats, this one does 13 damage per shot, 78 damage per second, has a 1x crit modifier, does 13 crit damage, costs 17 action points, has 0.1 spread, still holds 12 rounds, weighs 3, has slightly better item health though for some reason, where this one can fire 577 shots. So this is just a straight upgrade to the 10mm. It's not a massive upgrade, and this is coming about the halfway point in the game, so it may start to fall off around there when you can get 10mm submachine guns if you're playing the regular game, or if you want to run to Point Lookout and get a lever action rifle. It might be falling off there, but I'm still going to put this in the B tier. It's still a solid pistol. Nothing way crazy, but still decent enough if you want to grab it. It's not really mandatory to grab it, but it is kind of cool that you can grab that, and you can also grab your dad's outfit during that same cutscene there. So you can have two unique things, even though neither of those unique things is really all that good. Let's talk about the silent 10mm now, which you can find just throughout the wasteland. Certain enemies might be carrying these around. They're not very common. Most of the time you just find them in boxes, and they are kind of an interesting pistol. The suppressor does seem to make it so enemies are less likely to find you when you're stealthing around, although I'm not sure how much that actually affects it, since this is one of the few silent weapons in this game. So the silent 10mm does 8 damage per shot, slightly less than the regular pistol. Still has the same rate of fire, so it has 48 damage per second. This one has a 2x crit modifier though, so it's twice as likely to hit crits as the standard one, although it does half the crit damage, doing only 5, which is weird. I don't know why that is. I don't think upping it to 8 would have really mattered all that much, but okay. This one also costs more action points, costing 21. This one has the same spread at 0.5, has the same magazine at 12, weighs 3 weight, and this one has much less item health, coming in at only 333 shots shot before this one breaks, which is kind of a downside. There's not really that much of a reason to go for the silent 10mm over the regular 10mm in the game. The suppressor is pretty cool, and if you just like the look of it, then by all means use that, because it isn't really that much of a downgrade from the regular 10mm, but it does feel like a little bit of one, even though it does have that double crit modifier on there. I wish it had more crit damage, maybe just double its crit damage over the other one, and that would make it more usable, since then you have one for sneaking around and getting crits with, and then the other one that you just have for going loud. For this one, I would also put it into B tier. I think it's fine. It is probably lower than the other pistols, but it's okay. There is also one other 10mm that we should probably gloss over quickly, and that is the 10mm pistol that's available in Operation Anchorage. Now you do get a silent one in that, but that one gets taken away by the time you can actually do the glitch. So we're going to be talking about the glitched version of it, where you can actually get an unbreakable 10mm pistol, and pretty much infinite ammo for the 10mm. There is a certain bug or exploit that you can do in Operation Anchorage where you shove a body into the pod before you get in, or multiple bodies into the pod before you get in, and then once you're leaving that DLC you can just spam click, and you're very likely to actually grab onto one of the bodies there and then throw everything that you had in the simulator into the body, leave as it takes away whatever else is in your inventory, and then you can search that body and take all of your stuff. And pretty much all the weapons in Anchorage are nearly unbreakable. They do decay over time, but they decay incredibly slow, so it's functionally unbreakable. They also look a little bit nicer, as these are the guns that you could get before the war, so there is that too. And that one is quite a bit better because it is just an upgraded 10mm pistol. Overall, the 10mm in Fallout is actually a very solid weapon that you start out with, and doesn't fall off too bad until you're getting towards the end game, which is really nice. Tell me your thoughts on the 10mm pistol and its unique variants in Fallout 3. I'd really be interested in hearing that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.